All right. Good evening, our listeners. Today's Citizen Center, as you all know, is a very topical program with topical issues concerning us and our society is discussed. We look at very topical issues. We look at what concerns, what describes, what shapes our society. And we also open channels for us to discuss on pressing issues that are affecting our society. Today we have a very special session that will last from now till 8 o'clock, where we are going to look at the missionary activities in Akwa Ibom State with the case of Mother Mary Charles Walker. So, dear listeners, come up and pay great attention to this program. You are going to learn a whole lot. You will gain a whole lot. You will have a whole lot to say about Mother Mary Charles Walker and other missionaries that came to Akwa Ibom State. And of course, you've heard severally over the media that, or pages of history, that the missionaries came, brought us the gospel, gave us what to celebrate, okay? Brought Jesus Christ to us, brought the notion of God as we know today in our Christian faith to us. So today we are going to clearly examine what they did across board in the different strata of our society, Akwa Ibom State particularly. What impact have the missionaries brought to the social spectrum of Akwa Ibom State? And then not just a missionary, this very woman in particular, Mother Mary Charles Walker. Alright, I'm not going to do this alone today. Special appreciation to Excel FM for all they do, as far as broadcasting, information dissemination is concerned, as far as all the responsibilities and the role of media is concerned, for being that mirror that reflects our society objectively to us. And today, normally on Citizen Center, we have Rachel David White anchoring Friday's edition. But today she's unavoidably absent, and we still pay homage to Mr. President and then the Deputy President. But today, I'm going to be your rider throughout the program for the 1 hour. My name is Idion Bedong. Sister, I'll key you in.
When they started talking, you will hear them.
Me, I want to key the pin now.
No problem. You said.
I'm set. Where is their microphone?
This two.
Okay. So this is my own, right?
Yeah. No, this is your own. This is your own. Okay. This one, this one, this one, your own, and this two, your own. So just let's go.
Open my mouth. All right, I'm not alone in the studio, of course. It's a very serious program, and I have two very distinguished personalities in the studio with me. But they're not just social persons, they're not just personalities, they are religious of the congregation of the Handmaids of the Holy Child Jesus. And I'm talking about Reverend Sister Dr. Mary Legori Okure.
Yeah.
Okay, sister, could you come close to the microphone so that I can hear you? Okay, speak to our listeners, sister. Welcome them to the program.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, sister. Okay, and sister Dr. Legori Okure is not alone. She is also with Reverend Sister Dr. Stella Osen. And sister, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and then together we are going to open the pages of history. We are going to look at the church. We are going to look at our society. And we see clearly the missionary activities in Akwa Ibom State. Okay? Just stay tuned. So,
this is the bed for this program, this student center. So, this is their bed.
okay.
So, or do you have a song? Which song do you want?
I don't have. I just want to talk to more energizing, like I'm crying. Okay, sister. The first question, just as you have in the program, just as you have in the program that we are with. Okay, so the first question will come on missionary activities in Akwa Ibom State. The first segment will come at missionary activities in Akwa Ibom State. Can you hear my voice? Okay. Yeah, I'm starting from there. Just anyone you can mention. Okay, let me not be bookish. I'll just ask you casually. So, okay. All right, Sister Legori, please, can you shed light? Tell us what you know about the missionaries and how, and Akwa Ibom State generally.
Missionaries are those who came to preach the gospel. Those who came to Akwa Ibom State. We have Bishop Shanahan.
Okay.
Why I'm calling him now is, even though he wasn't the first one, it is the Spiritans, the Holy Ghost fathers who started preaching to the whole of the East. From Onitsha, they traveled down to Calabar. It was Father Leon Lejeune in 1900. He came to Calabar, started a station there in Calabar, then came down to, was about to go to the north. But then sickness did not allow him, so he left. He was succeeded by Bishop Shanahan, who came down, not stopping at Calabar, but came to Anua and created Anua as a station, central station in 1914, and then continue. But let's not dwell on the men yet.
Okay.
We have Mary Slezor.
Okay.
She was a Presbyterian woman. Worked in Calabar. She's known for eliminating, preaching against the killing of twins. And so she came down here, did the same thing in Akwa Ibom State. In fact, she was, for all that we know, the first Christian woman who really set foot on the path of Akwa Ibom State here, Mary Slezor.
Okay. Among the early missionaries, we had Mother Mary Charles Walker. Did she come with them, with the early missionaries?
Mother Mary Charles, Magdalen Walker came down in 1923 to Calabar, walked there and left a trail. Then in 1925, she came to Akwa Ibom State. It wasn't Akwa Ibom State at the time, it was part of Calabar mainland. But then when it is this part that has been created as Akwa Ibom, as we all know. Okay. She came with 62 children, 62 of her girls, and 2 teachers for Easter holiday. And they lodged in St. Joseph Church there in Anua. And that's history.
Okay, did she come with these girls from
Calabar.
Okay, from Calabar.
Yes.
As she arrived in Uyo, she arrived with the girl she had groomed from Calabar.
The girl she has groomed in St. Joseph's Convent School in Calabar. She only came in 1923. 24, she was able to groom these children. And mind you, know that in those days, girls, there were no schools for girls.
Yeah.
When she arrived Anua, there were only 5 little girls in St. Joseph's Boys' School. And instead, this you will see a picture. Obviously, when we put up the picture of mother with the children, you will see it. Those girls, they left the school and joined these other ones. And you will recognize them because they were without uniform. Mother's children were in whites. And you'll see the little girls among them.
Okay, Sister Dr. Hussein, please, can I get your perspective on this?
Well, I want to say that this woman, Mother Mary Charles Magdalen Walker, was a great woman, a lone religious. She worked very hard to see to the education of girls. In fact, today I attended a burial and I saw on it the program when at the side they were something they wrote about education, and they said education of women at that time was not a right. It was just a privilege if you are allowed to. But the time our mother came, women didn't have the opportunity until she came and opened schools for them.
Okay, I want us to look at, okay, for the education of our listeners, I want us to look at the challenges these people face. Because when we talk about missionaries coming to the States, it's always, we assume that it was a comfortable space, it was like tourism, it was like traveling. So I want you to shed light on the challenges that these missionaries, most especially Mary Charles Walker, faced coming to Akwa Ibom States.
For me, there is something that I always wondered. How did she manage to go around the places she went around and opened schools, evangelization, and many other things that she did? As at that 1925, 26, how were our roads to the villages? She must have faced a lot because I don't think they had vehicles to travel. So she must have been trekking with others, and with determination she got to where she could meet the people and attended to them. So it was not an easy task.
Okay, specifically, I would love Sister Legori to talk about the funding. You know, this young woman, a nun, coming in all the way from Britain, if I'm not wrong, down to Calabar and to Akwa Ibom State. Was it sponsored by the church? How was the funding there?
She wasn't sponsored by the church. You know, she was a qualified woman, trained. She was a teacher in Ireland for 20 years. And she could have salary. So when she came here, the first year was a difficult year for her because she had to remove the government aid from the school so that she could arrange it the way she thought fit. And during that period, she had no money, no salary. She herself tells us that the first year was a difficult one. But then, after that, would you believe in a year's work, she was able to raise the standard of the school to a point that the government inspectors had to grade it A+.
Okay.
And then she regained her salary. She was paid by the government.
Okay, for the effort she puts.
But for the effort she put,
in
she,
establishing
as a
those
teacher,
schools
yes,
in Akwa
as
Ibom
a
State.
European teacher, she had salary from government.
Okay.
And she put all that back into the work that she was doing.
Okay.
Yes.
You mentioned that she came to Akwa Ibom State, and we are celebrating her 100 years of services in Akwa Ibom State. We would love to know specifically, what are those marks that she left in terms of education first? Because you talked that she opened schools and even government had to thank her for those things. So mention clearly, could you, about the school she established?
The school she established.
Yes.
Many schools.
Okay.
In Akwa Ibom, she had primary schools. Because there were no schools for girls, she had to train them from the scratch.
Okay.
Primary schools, she opened schools in Framoron.
Okay.
And you know, she gave saint's name to the schools when she started.
Okay.
Oron was St. Cecilia.
Beautiful.
And Dunabum, St. Mary. That is my alma mater, actually.
Wow.
St. Mary, yes. The primary school there. The Anwa here was St. Philomena. There are many people who will say that their certificates are St. Philomena, not Holy Child.
Okay.
Those schools, the names were changed later on into one umbrella, one name, so that whenever you see Convent Primary School or Holy Child Primary School, either it is the school that Mother herself opened or the ones that we ourselves and some of her successors, the Holy Child Sisters opened. She opened a school in Ifo, St. Joseph.
Okay.
Opened one in Edemekpa, St. Teresa's. All and all, name it, you have it. So she had opened those schools there. And those schools, except for those that has been transformed into secondary school, they are still there.
Okay.
The government will tell us that because after the war, they took over all the primary schools. So, but then they did something very wonderful in the sense that the character of the school remained. So you will see the names even now. Convent Primary School or Holy Child Primary School. Eventually, it was decided that instead of giving names, there would be many of them. Maybe they thought there would come a time that the names would be exhausted, that there would be only one name for all the schools, Holy Child Primary School.
Wow, this is interesting. Okay. But of course, that's a very lovely memory, because when we look at what we've achieved with these schools today, they have grown big, they have produced serious graduates who have affected the economic growth, stability, and the intellectual bank of the state. We can not but owe thanks to what Mother Mary did, most especially how selfless this was. Okay, Sister Stella, let me come to you. In some of your discuss, you've mentioned about the issue of twin. You know, we all along, we've always noted or thought that it was, when we talk of twins and fighting them, stopping them, it was Mary Slessor. But is this new research we've seen, you mentioned severally that Sister Mother Mary Walker had, fought to stop the killing of twins. Please shed light on that.
Thank you very much. In those days, as we have come to know, that twins and their mothers were always sent away from the village. They wouldn't allow them to be part of the society. They would send them to the forest. They will remain there. Whatever will happen to them, their fate will be in the hands of the wild animals. But when she came, Mother Mary Charles came to Anwa, she discovered this issue, and she single-handedly, we are not talking about, in this case, we are not talking about Mary Slessor. We are focusing on Mother Mary Charles Magdalen Walker. She was able to bring out these people as the children of God, and she built accommodation for them. We have even been told that they were banned from sharing in the same stream, the same market, in fact, totally bound. So, she opened a stream for them, specifically for them, that they were able, with the accommodation, she gave them even free education. She was a very generous woman and integrated them in the society. Now we celebrate twins.
Yeah.
Like we have, there is a group I know. They say the name is Twins Alive.
Yeah, the Twins Alive Foundation.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I love that part that you said that they had to go at not just the advocacy level, had to adopt these children and provided shelter for them. I remember very well. I remember very well in my community. Of course, I'm not a twin, but I'm a son of a twin. I have heard that my grandmother was stopped from going to the public stream to fetch water because she gave birth to twins. She was stopped from shopping in an open market.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't just imagine how the trauma would be, for the blessing that God gave to you to give birth to two children, and it became a very serious issue in the society. Well, in as much as we owe some gratitude to Mary Slessor, we also owe a whole lot of gratitude to Mother Charles Walker for that alone. But before I switch over, I want to get back to what you said on the girl-child education. Okay, Sister Legori had mentioned that she came to you with 62 girls, okay, from Calabar. Okay, so now talk more about the issue of women education, because each time I say girl-child education, you correct me by saying women and girl-child education. So I wanted to shed light on, did she gather women and teach them?
Of course, when you open you open a school for the girls or the women, at that time, the women didn't have the privilege of going to school. They just sit at home, get married and give birth. That was the focus for women. And this lady came in, opened schools, and made the women, the girls at that time, to have the opportunity of being educated. That is why today we can see women excel in different fields. You have women lawyers, barristers, you have a whole lot. Medical doctors, teachers at different levels. So we praise Mother Mary Charles Magdalen Walker because she opened the way for women to survive and to be good people, to know their rights and follow it.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. We're going to give a little break for about a minute, and then when we come back, we are going to look at the seed that Mother Walker planted in education, in healthcare, and even in religion.